It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Please take it as a warning. I've been sitting dormant. Took a break from booking my performance. Young Nolan was on it once upon a time. Open my destinations. Used to check the rhyme. Q-tip in the ear. Let me say this clear so you fuck niggas hit me. You niggas suck. You ain't near me. I'm making bucks so I could duck the inquiries. My flow the truth. I can't trust in your theories. These rappers lying now. 6 million ways to demise. We got them dying out. Crying out. What is it your life about? Sincerely, I've been dedicated. Building reputations. Rising expectations. Look at me. Fighting my temptations. I've been serenaded plentifully. My imagery lyrically made with symmetry. I've been hard. Killing niggas out the family tree. I feel like Benoit. Used to educate them at them seminars. Now it's all about me. Shining when I'm grinding. I take my talents to South Beach. They voluntary mouthpiece. I turn it down when I turn around to be flirting for surface, buffing my crown. Bitch, I'm good on my own. I got a wife and a son in my home, so get used to rejection. If any niggas say my name, hope you use protection. I cross niggas for the fun of it. Who's the pedestrian? Burn your canals just to get to the root of my questions. Oh no, LeBron body, I'm all-star. Hard body like porn star body and all y'all. Airplane on my phone calls, fuck all the small talk. Press a button, your life rerouted like it's the OnStar. If you been yearning for the real, y'all should have been said it. These cowards would have been dead. Let my win set in. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. In this video, we're going to be getting into Punch from TDE and Michael Eric Dyson once more. All right. Now, y'all know Michael Eric Dyson has been under some fire recently because of his comments related to the Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle. The battle that just seems not to be going anywhere, even as much as we don't want to talk about it every day. Somehow it keeps getting reintroduced into the conversation with another twist, another slant, another angle, right? So we already know that Michael Eric Dyson had that podcast interview where he tried to accuse Kendrick Lamar of literally stripping Drake of his blackness, right? He criticized Not Like Us, and he only spoke about the negative ramifications of that song as it pertained to Drake, but didn't really go into detail about the back and forth and how nasty and dirty it had gotten, which was initiated by Drake, right? He then comes out and let us know that Jay-Z had contacted him and vehemently disagreed with his perspective, the way that he framed the conversation and everything. He made it seem as if him and Jay-Z were literally on the phone having this conversation. They had some sort of debate, and he said he pointed Jay-Z to his 3,000 word article in the Philadelphia paper and all this different type of stuff. And then just days later, he came back out and had to clarify once again the conversation he had with Jay-Z wasn't even on the phone, but a mere text conversation, okay? Where he also issued a apology to Jay-Z. No such apology was given to Kendrick Lamar for wrongfully framing the story or revising history. But we see that he cherishes that relationship with Jay-Z enough to at least try to clear his name. Now, I was gonna talk about that, but other stories took precedence. So I'll play the video where he talked about that last interaction with Jay-Z. But today, we've got an official response from Punch. Now, previously, Punch had said little things on Twitter. He said he also vigorously disagreed with the way that Michael Eric Dyson was talking. Just a couple little minor jabs, nothing too serious. But today, he actually released a song on Twitter. I believe this is from a room full of mirrors. Because, you know, that's what he does outside of his work with TDE. He works on the Room Full of Mirrors project and things of that nature. And it seems that they went back into the studio and created something new. And he allowed us to hear it. So we're going to actually play the record where he responds directly to Michael Eric Dyson via song and get into what he had to say in his response. But first, let's play this video from Michael.
ear. I remember once when Kanye posted publicly a text exchange between us that was private, and I was hurt by that. And I'm thinking about that because I've done the same thing to Jay-Z. No, I didn't publicly post a text, but I talked about a private exchange between us that should have remained between us, as it has for the last 20 some odd years. So I want to apologize to him here. Why am I doing it here and not to him directly? Because the old black people said, where you did it is where you get it. Where you messed up is where you fess up. And that's what I'm doing. What was his main disagreement? Look, first of all, it wasn't a call. It was a text. That's what we do. We text about geopolitics. We text about The Godfather and a myriad of topics. That is what our habit is. His main disagreement, when I compared Kendrick in his line, Not Like Us, to Trump in his trying to distinguish himself from others who weren't on the same level. And Jay-Z said basically that was a faulty kind of comparison. One is a rap.
The fact that you would ever even put Kendrick Lamar in the same sentence as Trump just shows how not like us you are, my brother. What the fuck? Comparing, like, I don't give a fuck what your educational background is. To try to paint that picture when there's no evidence to show similarities between these two men. I don't care if you don't like Kendrick, bro. You got to be honest. Like, come the fuck on.
The other is a far more sinister force. And he said, this is what rappers do. They look at the vulnerabilities of and insecurities of their opponent and they exploit them. Why would he know that? Because he conducted one of the most famous rap battles in the history of the art form. And so I mischaracterized him. He said, it ain't that serious. He wasn't vigorously disagreeing with me. It's not like he called me and said that. And even on the text, he literally said, it's not that serious. So I want to apologize to him. And the reason I clarified my position in the first place is because he made that distinction between Trump and Kendrick that I wanted to make clear that I completely understood and did not intend. So God bless you all on this morning. Rest in peace, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Jay-Z, my sincerest apologies. Much love to you, my dear brother. Ear.
All right. So that's the apology from Michael Eric Dyson to Jay-Z for divulging their private conversation and making it out to be much more than it actually was so that he could prove his point, which was already a shit point to begin with. So now we get the punch. And he puts this up at 10:44 a.m. He says, just peeping the patterns. And as you can see, the first photo in this visual is Kendrick Lamar. This is from To Pimp a Butterfly era with the eye hat outside of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
I'm taking game-winning shots with my wrist up, screaming cash, braggadocious, black man making my coaching staff mad. Boy, I feel like Anthony.
Now, I don't know who this is rapping in the first part of the song. I don't know who this is.
Edwards, you don't want me to pass the first option when seconds left. You want the rock in my hands. Come on, dog. It's just mad. When infinite is the sure name, how long will he last? Don't get asked. Too many yes men round you know when you ask. We live heavy, you lightweight to the max. Now I gotta ask, Vonnie, what made you get this deep in your bag? She'll probably laugh and say the family sleeping, making me mad. I know it's hard pushing a vision that your people can't grasp. I left my city once, ain't have to look back. Y'all gon' shoot for the max.
Yeah. Once you know the prophet, mirrors ride like the four horses of the apocalypse. I'm foreshadowing.
All right, now we got punch in here. Hold on, let me run it back and restart that verse.
You know the prophet, mirrors ride like the four horses of the apocalypse. I'm foreshadowing, balancing options. The outcome was written in advance. It's all a part of the same doctrine. Dumb niggas with doctorates spewing nonsense. I disagree vigorous.
Dumb niggas with doctorates spewing nonsense. All right, here we go. Here we go.
The outcome was written in advance. It's all a part of the same doctrine. Dumb niggas with doctorates spewing nonsense. I disagree vigorously. Here's a response. I'm sorry, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, but this is a whole indictment. This ain't about dark or light skin. I think you lost sight of what the fight has been. In order to win, we have to...
All right, he said it ain't about dark or light skin. This is an indictment, right? You comparing Kendrick to motherfucking Donald Trump. This is an indictment, nigga. What are you talking about? What? How?
Man, this ain't about dark or light skin. I think you lost sight of what the fight has been. In order to win, we have to cleanse from within. Treat them cancer cells before we can excel. This ain't about rhetorical skills. It's about who got the morals to build.
Okay.
The house versus the field. It's about who gon' say something real.
Right.
Niggas only discuss blackness for fashion. Put it all in they cap.
Niggas only discuss blackness for fashion. Okay. Black when convenient. Black when you can pilfer from our style cues, our influence, but you don't really fuck with us like that.
The house versus the field. It's about who gon' say something real. Niggas only discuss blackness for fashion. Put it all in they captions and hashtag it. But when it's time for action, who get it bracking? I'm far from an activist, I'm curious, so I'm asking. The system won't last, it's collapsing. And I ain't preaching, I'm just peeping the pattern. I nearly died from undisclosed matters, so you are not a factor, nothing more than mere chatter.
He said, I almost died from some real shit, so you are not a factor, nothing more than mere chatter. Let me speak to you in your motherfucking language. You just mere chatter.
I nearly died from undisclosed matters, so you are not a factor, nothing more than mere chatter. I hope you've been brushing up on your chapters. In the days of those kings, you gon' see defeat shatter.
Alright, I think that's it. Alright, so Punch, he didn't like assassinate his character. He didn't, make a diss record per se, but he did respond. The vigorously disagree part, he already voiced that on Twitter, which is Michael Eric Dyson's words that he originally used about Jay-Z, and he says, so do I. He did say you a doctorate. What did he say? Niggas with doctorates spewing nonsense. That wasn't a lie. And he said, you're not a factor. Nothing more than mere chatter. I've almost died from undisclosed matters. My life been on the line in crazy situations that I can't even talk about or that I'd rather not share. So this situation here is really nothing all that significant. It's just mere chatter. You know what I mean? It's a part of the game. It comes with it, the talk. It's a story. It's a moment. But to think that what you're saying or your opinion holds any weight around here is crazy. And he says, I think some people have lost sight of what the fight is, right? When it comes down to racial equality, racial discrimination, dealing with racism in this country, dealing with the housing crisis and redlining and all of these different cultural issues that we as Black people have had to face, have had to traverse, have had to try and overcome. He's like, you crazy. You're basically minimizing our experience and then trying to take the side of this guy and you're posing it as a dark versus light skin conversation when that wasn't even the conversation. It's a cultural conversation. Right? So when homeboy gets called a colonizer and then you point out all of the ways that his actions line up with colonizers' actions and you still resist and fight that, that's a personal choice. Salute to you for your personal choice. Not everybody's going to agree with you. Most people did not. The only people that really agreed with you were the Drake fans who, you know, they're holding on for dear life. They don't want to give up because they really don't care or listen to nobody else in hip hop anyway. So if they were to get rid of him, they would be removed completely from all of the conversation in general. They just trying to have a space at the table. Little do they know the occupancy has already been filled. You know? But like I said the other day, I love the fact that niggas is rapping. Niggas is getting in the booth, getting shit off their chest. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just exclusively doing it through social media, rather than turning on the camera and screaming on live for a spectacle to be made. Shit, let me address what's going on in the culture. Let me address what's happening. Let me address the things that are surrounding my name through art, through creativity. So I do appreciate that so many folks are coming out and airing out their grievances, their discrepancies, their disagreements, and the things that they love in music. That's what this is built on anyway. Salute to Punch for that. And salute to Jay-Z for voicing his opinion on the matter, whether that be privately with Michael Eric Dyson or whatever. I'm glad it did get out. I'm glad that we do know that he checked your ass on that bullshit that you was talking to that white man misrepresenting our culture because of your skewed view of the situation based on God knows what. Right? So that's what I got for y'all in this one. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there. Peace. Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks.